Well now. Hello, Professor Bright here, and welcome back to Book of Hours, where it's actually quite important, I would say, to perhaps read this news, because it gives you hints on what they have done. I see that some of these weren't present before. I'm sorry, hold on. Analyzing a craftable books now have an aspect to indicate the relevant skill as well as the relevant mastery aspect. That wasn't present before? Oh dear, that is actually somewhat worrying. I'm glad I'm playing this more updated version of Book of Hours. But no, I actually wanted... The thing that caught my attention, really. One, I was looking for, when is the Book of Light coming out? That's about 4 months from now, so we have time. But no. This whole business of analyzing a craftable item will usually now give you hints on how to craft it. That interests me greatly, because there's something else I discovered. Oh, and also this tells me about Thurza Blake, the 7th librarian, spent all the house's money on her projects before her disappearance, and that's when the nocturnal period began. I think is what that last part said. I am sort of deriving the last sentence, but no! Notice, our consider aspect, or our consider action, rather, is not consumed while we are currently reading a book. Which implies, though I'm not entirely certain of this, but it implies that we can use each of these desks to analyze all of the books. Just every single one. And let's test that idea. Actually, probably Edicts Marshall has enough, but is there one that has more? I think all of these have 2 or less. Yeah, 2 or less. So, I mean, Edicts Marshall just for the sake of it. Which means I can... Okay! Well, I could have been doing things a lot quicker than I have been. Apologies for that. Didn't realize how useful reading desks are, which also means I can throw you over here. But because I'm currently using FOSS, this might not be the best of ideas, unfortunately. But... you... Sadly, I don't remember what my plan was before this exact moment, but... I mean... Yeah... I want in. And I can use core to do it. Perfect. That and a little bit of core. Perfect. But no. I have all these books to study and to consider, which means I can also mass consider things. Though I should be careful with that. I should be, because 1, I need money. But 2... let's see here. Shaft, you will go there for now. But 2, I also want to... not necessarily catalog, but at least get some more things from the moor. What skill will do? Coil and Chasm it is. Rhyme rims the moor tarns, gathering in winter. Excellent. Oh, and also, I now have a list of all the recipes. Well, I'd say all the recipes. I have a list of potential recipes that I've written up based on what I have unlocked and what I haven't, which will make the whole matter of researching what these skills make much easier. So yes, we are in good position to do, well, basically whatever we need to do. Fet can go here. Yes, I don't have any use for Rose right now. Not immediate uses for Rose, you understand. Things of containment I might keep out. Insects and nectars. No. That has nectar and thus is useful immediately. Especially since I would rather... well, Hum. I do have quite a few of the Lenten Rose, this is true. Not so much the Blue Crown. So yes, let's get our hands on some using health. Because health is the only one... I'm sorry, is health the only one that'll do? Ah, no, it's heart that is needed, not necessarily not necessarily nectar. There we are. Alright, just want to get some storage on that, because I don't know how useful these will be, but I imagine I can make use of them. Make great use of them, I should say. Should specify. West. Oh, hold. Well, there's a few other things I want to test. One of which is, I believe it was auroral contemplations? Yes, I want to see if there's a way I can choose what we make when we make things in the laboratory. Just because last time, I would have liked Refulgin. Or rather, no, not you. It was another one. Well, I would have liked Eigengrout. Did I record this incorrectly? One moment. No, that's not incorrect. That is Eigengrow. I'm sorry, wasn't that going to make for Refulgin? One moment. Need to look over my notes. Purifications and exaltations. Ah, there's the mistake. Purifications and exaltations. There you are. Yeah, it didn't give me a choice before. Although now that I'm seeing this, I see I would need to use Whist with purifications and exaltations if by some unhappy chance we can't just use Faust and can't choose which one we make. Still, something to consider. Actually, what is interesting to me, that iotic essence. Tell me about it. Analyze the liquid, nothing will remain. I don't want to do that then. No, thank you. Thank you, but no. No, because I believe, perhaps, I may know how to use it. Or how to make it. I think it's under that forge aspect. Drink the stuff, this will consume the beverage. If it's a whole bottle, consider serving it first, so you don't drink the whole thing. No, I just want to consider it, is the thing. Oh. Carved snakes writhe down the frame. A prominent inscription reads, "To the Librarian Gervinus, in earnest of our wager." Curious. I want to use consider more to analyze objects than I've been using it to analyze books. I feel like that is not necessarily a better use, but a more, productive use of consider. No, get over there. Ah. Well, that is a little bit annoying. I'd like to assign all my little skills. You're already in use. You. Edge, knock, rose, scale. Edge, knock, rose, scale, edge. And by edge, I mean knock. To consider this. And do I have another one I can make use of right now? I don't believe so. Very well. Alright. Let time pass. Let things change. Why do I have Eva's locks here? Probably we'll add that to the pantry at a later date, but for now, you can live here, where we've been storing all our alcohol. As one does. It's gonna get very busy in about 8 seconds, alas. Let's see, you'll take a lantern, though. Lantern, scale, sky, winter. Paused, good. The inscription is repeated on the base of the sand glass in Sanskrit, and indeed the style is Eastern, though I think somewhere farther than India. Well, that tells me precious little, but fair enough. You can go back over here. Oh! Might be a good place to store my tools, actually. Oh, sorry. Memory of sight, largely useless, but we'll take it. consider the scale... Hell no. I'm sorry, I don't want my skills used for that purpose. Not right now. Let's see, we have something going here, here, and here. Alright, we are productive, as it were. And you, what does not bark? Alexander Probst writes warily of Calyptra, a law, principle, or society, which prevents the dissemination of dangerous knowledge. And we've known about Calyptra. They're technically an hour, aren't they? Regardless, this should be trivial to access. As soon as I find something that allows moon. Alright. I mean, I guess I could just do it myself like a normal person, like I've been doing this whole time. But you know how I am. Let's see about this thing that was confiscated. We found this investigator's suitcase in the guest room, and that has me curious. Also moved the linen over here. I imagine it's useful for something special. But now, on to the matter of the midwife, because we have a tower to finish. I'm sorry, if you could please, thank you. If you would love to assist us there. Don't know why I phrased it that way. If you'd care to assist us there. There we are. A viper egg. Oh, yes, and we have to feed the chicken. One does forget. Since now they're quite upset with us. Well, I say they're upset with us. They're pleading with us, and I can't say no. I mean, could you look at this cute little chicken in winter? I wonder. But unimportant. Money? Appreciated. Metal I will need to maintain. Ah, dear. And this shall be a day well spent. Thank you. Also, I should probably rewrite what this is, because at this point, it's too many episodes later. I don't recall what I ordered at all. Alas. But first, I know, you want food, and I have food for you. And I apparently need to use metal to give that to you, but there you are. The beasts shall be fed, and they shall be satisfied. Ah, dearie me, so many books, so little time. Does this tell me when anything is completed? I ask because at this point I feel like this should have been completed, but, well, hasn't been yet. Well, got a few things going. Hawthorn blank, which is a knock-aspected wood. Potentially useful. As for this, I have Evening Isle's coffee. Ah. Well, not the worst thing it could have been, I suppose. Coffee from beyond the sunset sea. Well, I'll just leave it on the front porch, as one does. And you. Well, can't actually consider anything. I have no efforts to spend. Alas. Well, a little bit more Ava's locks. Delightful. Of course, now I have to find a place for all of these things, but matters for the future. Yes, I know. Get over there. You over. Back to the library. The library proper. There you are. You will just drop down here because I'm lazy like that. And the Hawthorn blank can live over... Yeah, I suppose. Alright. I don't know where I want to put this Evening Isle coffee. It can live here for now, yes? Thank you. Appreciated. Pickled mushrooms, you'll learn to like them. No. I'm sorry, but no. Simply, no. Ava's locks, though. I might be able to find a use for you. Oh my, one moment. Edge a conquest. But, sorry. Put you over there. Let me put these flowers down and this seaweed of sorts, I suppose. There, it is now decorating the area. But no, Deoris, Book 2, in Latin, a 19th century reprint by the indefatigable Nathaniel Darcy Evers of a 14th century Latin translation of a 4th century work. Ah, I see a reprint of it. Lessons Disciplines of the Hammer, which appears to be a fist, which appears to also have forged to it. Useful. Most useful. And a memory of foresight, which is more useful still. Now on the matter of what is contained in that book, I'm reading, the volume deals mostly with the hour called Lionsmith, the hour called the Tribune of Scars, and with their enmity. The Lionsmith makes monsters to defeat the Tribune, but the Scars of the Tribune are each a weapon. Curious. And you, Lantern, a slightly more interesting volume, if I may. Although I am running out of space here. Something for the future. Oh, and also, sorry. Almost forgot. To record the data. Because I need the data to work from. Foresight. +1. Were you creating Edge as well? Sorry, no, just... Well, actually, yes, +1 Lantern. But most importantly, +2 Forge. Now on this, though, the Chandler's Wish, if you prefer, formulae and instructions evoking Moth, Lantern, and exceptionally paradoxically, the liminal and theoretical hour called the Chandler, as it were. The author is anonymous, admitting only that they are one who is not yet nameless. Moth and Lantern, you say? The author makes a passionate argument that the hour named Candler is in fact the oldest, even though he does not exist, because he is, supposedly, the culminating event of a plan that precedes even Grail and Moth. Where the Candler has passed, the understandings of the Colonel and the Lionsmith will wrench open truth. Where the Candler will pass, Moth will pass before him. Oh my. I have so many lessons to consider now. And that Ink of Revelation, well, that book, rather, gave me hints onto what might work with that Ink of Revelations business. Sorry, where did you go? There you are. You are completed now, and so you do not belong on that shelf. Very well. You get to live up here. Because I also think there are hints there. But then this Journal of Thomas Dolph, I wonder if I should organize my books differently. We won't for the moment, but it's something I'm considering. For one, I need to expand a little bit, but... Well, you know. How do we categorize everything? Just literally everything. Choices upon choices. Oh, hold a moment. Do you have Forge? Do you allow me to keep Forge? You do. Bloody beautiful. Alright. And now, we have another guest room, which I have yet to find a use for, unfortunately. A mothy guest room at that. But maybe a desk that allows for moth, rose, knock, and heart. It's an apothecary's desk, alright, but it dates from at least 100 years after Natan of Regensburg came here. Of course, his son, his grandson, and his great-grandson were all Natans, too. Well, that's gonna make things awfully confusing. Unless it was all the same Nathan. Curious. But Motley Tower, the Regensburg room, the physician Nathan lived here in the 15th century, and his family after that, tolerated by the monks until King Henry dissolved the foundation and granted the island to Hendrik. Hendrik turfed them out of the tower and finished the place more to his own taste. Furnished the place more to his own taste. But when Christopher Elopoli moved in 400 years later, he restored what he could. Elopoli wrote at the time of his sympathy as a rootless foundling for the outcast Natan. I don't know what I am, but I don't think I'm English. Fair. A moment, though. There we are. Apologies. Hello. Our benefactor and our benefactress. Evidently someone who donated to the Curia but preferred to remain anonymous. Uh-huh. And a storm-tossed mirror. Solid workmanship, but not obviously remarkable. Pardon me, limitations of the body, you understand. There we are. Alright, as for a bag of tricks. I'll take that, see what it contains. An exile slept here even, long ago. You know, I haven't found much use for those yet. Not just yet. In the dispensary... A moment. What's the difference between that and the laboratory? Oh, it seems to be more versatile, but it does not allow for the use of plant matter. Except for flowers specifically. Okay. And tell me, do you use just remains? Remains corpses, whereas you allow for remains and fuel or liquid. I see, he says. Not entirely seeing for certain, but having ideas. Are you quite happy now? A full belly makes a helpful friend. The beastie is now inclined to cooperate, and we love that. Although, hopefully I won't need much from them for the near future. I don't know, eggs are useful, but like... Heart and scale, an egg. I am curious about that, though. Sorry, one more time? Let me just look at that real quick. When an egg is not dead, something may emerge. When an egg is dead, something may be placed within. Thank you, Thurza Blake. You are infinitely disturbing. But thank you. We do appreciate that, I'm sure. Ah, dear. Alright, but we have this tower, and effectively, most of the eastern side of the building restored. I say most of it, we haven't gone through the underground yet, but that will take time, and also we're getting to the point where it's becoming increasingly complex to restore building pieces. 2 edge, 1 forge. But useful enough to purify and to combine the selves and the essences. The hammer shapes the gates and shatters doors within us and without. We will look into you soon. But first, the Inks of Revelation, let's acquire that skill, and let time pass. Much to do, but not much time to do it all in. Alas. In fact, one moment. Thank you, just wanted to write down the new skills we got, so I can eventually make recipe lists from them. Of course, I still have to actually find the recipes, and unfortunately, at least in some of these, I believe I've tested basically everything. I truly do. So I'm kind of concerned that I'm just somehow very wrong about something, somehow. Thank you for that. But consider, I need effort to do this. So I might... Well, no. I can get the memory of sight easily enough. I'm not going to worry about that. I will preserve foresight, though, because I don't have any forge books read, essentially, is the issue. And, yeah, we want to change that. Although, well, we'll see. Our soul is drained, so onwards to the future, please. Question. You need effort. Okay. I just wanted to check, just to be sure. But yes, with no remaining soul, onward to the future, please. As quickly as you can. Oop. Pause. And preserve. As for things of Revelation themselves, lantern, obvious, and moth, also obvious. Alright, and now that it's a new day, well, the consideration, do I go after opening up new rooms, which may be very helpful, true, or do I go after just reviewing more books, which may be dangerous, it must be said. Get back there. Rain. Okay. Grail and nectar. What do you offer? That requires grail. 7 grail. And fairly doable at that. Who do you have for me today? A fisherman? It is technically still winter. We're just on the tippy top of winter. I say tippy top, the tippy end. Not a phrase. Look, English. My first language, and I'm, sadly, not the best at it. Not the best at the turns of phrases. You say one word, and then you intend to say another, even though that other makes no sense. It's... It is a problem. But not currently your problem. Although, hold on. Fortune-telling only gives me, like, 2 pennies, yes? And that would, I believe, give me 1 penny to throw down the well. So let's do that, first of all. Whether it's a good idea or not, I just want to do it. Also, it'll get me rid of these 3 and 2 pence that are just stuck there forever. Bothering me. Existing, how dare they. Alright, now, as for that. Well, no. First, consider a painting, literally any painting. And we still have to burn effort to use it, so I suppose I will burn... Not fat. Shapt. As at the very least right now, it's the... not the least useful of these, but the one I'm going to be using. Let's simply leave it at that. What are my options here? Although... No, we have Grail and Nectar, and thus we should go with Grail or Nectar. This is true. I was debating going and getting Mr. Kille, who's... Again, I should look up the names, but I am... unfortunately more excited to be unlocking things than I am to be... actually... doing my job as a librarian. Unfortunately. No. We won't be doing that. Yes, use Core to speak with Mrs. Kille, who's been ever so helpful. 1 moment, though. No, you'll only take things that are soaked. Okay, just verifying things on my end. Who? Someone for the current affairs and my yearly stipend. Perfect. I don't even have to worry about getting enough money together. An iron spintria and a £1 note. Speaking of that iron spintria, it is ductile, you say. Good to know. I can possibly make iron wire? We'll learn more. No. There was something else, though. Couldn't have been anything, I suppose. Now, recipes or books? Recipes or books? I think recipes first. Because I wanted to know... I believe it was you? No. It was purifications. Ah, good. I can select. I just did not. And I do want some refulgin, more for the sake of having it than anything else. But do I want to use my Faust for that? Or do I want to use my Faust to discover other recipes? Perhaps. Let's look. I mean, this was rather obvious. Of course, for Fulgen, Inks of Revelation makes sense. Writing it down. L5 Refulgen. But what else? Or for a scholar level recipe, if I add glass, I can resolve it into a more potent lantern liquid, a precursor of the ink ashretine. Good to know. L10. I believe it's xanthotic. Question mark. With liquid. And then ashretine, perhaps. We don't know for sure, to be clear. But we can suspect that it requires L15, put extra question marks around this, Lantern 15, and xanthotic essence, which should be very doable, actually. Let's see if we can't do that. Throw that xanthotic essence on there. Where is it? There you are. Oh, if I add glass. Ha! Yes, well. What other substances do I have that add lantern, or memory of lantern? Might be easier to do with a memory, but also, right now, we don't have it. Do I have any glass anywhere? Or anything made of glass? Can I make glass? Probably. Somehow, through some unknown method. Well, we'll add that to our lists of questions. While here, though, I do want to do some crafting. But I also want to do many other things. Choices, choices, choices. Tell you what, we leave it for later, right now. Because right now I need the midwife's assistance. And I also want to see what this becomes. So, if you would, I would love to collaborate with you on a simple matter, really. Very, very simple. Let me just see. 6 grail, and I can give you something, I'm sure, to get you that last bit of grail so we can fix this rose-haunted hall up. Or, the pantry is still quite a bit of a mess. It would be nice if there was a way to solve that. Similarly, the wine cellar, where I could potentially brew wine. Hold. Oh? Is it actually spring now? Ah! I was wrong. It is spring. Which, to me, means we need to start gathering things. Many things, perhaps. Honey or beeswax, if I'm careful. Which in turn will let me make candles, which, well, we'll see. This is a summer harvesting, but this I can get in... Dearie me, I can get grapes in spring, and that's lovely and all. Vegetables would be nice. I could go for some isle water, actually, but no. Let's see here. Moth orchids. In spring and summer. Alas that I've used other elements I perhaps should have saved for this. But there you are. And what can I get from you in spring? Nothing. In summer, though, we can get sea holly, and that'll be delightful. More moth orchids. Oh, come on. I know there was something else here. Nothing until summer, or Numa. Whichever comes first. Okay. Nope, you're just a painting. Alas. Now, what's completed? Ah, our memory of foresight. Which I suppose I should use, being a responsible member of society. But first, I don't know what I'm buying here. So let's spend a significant amount of money. A quarter of my stipend on it. Whatever it was. This is a good idea. This is what a smart person would do. Yes. Definitely. Love that. Well, now. What do we want to order from Cater and Harrow? Again, I should have been keeping this going for a while, but, well. I didn't have my stipend. Money was running a bit low. You know how it is. I've seen Ombrus oil. I haven't seen the other two, which makes them tempting. Glue, though. I don't see how... Well, actually, I'd say that. I'd know exactly how I could get glue. Something to do with bones, which is likely remains, which is likely other things. There we are. And, oh, postmistress, I have another thing for you. Just, you know, break a crown for me. Thank you. Signed Nina Lagasse. Well, that tells me precious little. But it is sufficient for what I am doing. Consider the improvement of our inks of revelation. There we are. And do I need to use Faust for this? Not necessarily. I would have to be using Whist, Fet, or Faust. And given that choice, let's improve the inks of revelation. Now, as for you, because I do want to continue gathering things, what can go here? Basically anything. The bulk of my skills. But here only Fet. And I wonder if the skills determine what you receive, and to what degree they determine what you receive. But, well. Am I wrong in thinking I should be able to use Shapt here? Evidently. Pity. Oh well. Let's see. Once we're done talking with her, we'll use therein there. And I suppose we have options. Many options. That Memory of Foresight, though, I want to use that. Because that'll give me 5... I get tantalizingly close to being able to use one of those forge books. Appreciated, thank you for the money. You are going to continue. Yes, it's undignified to be doing fortune-telling, I'm aware. Oh, pardon. Cat's Claw in spring. But it would require something with heart, which I currently lack. Alas. And also, I think I already have a sample of Cat's Claw, yes? I do not? Oh. Something we'll have to do. I imagine that's an ingredient in Catwink ink. I'll wait till the consideration is done. Ah, yes, thank you very much. Sorry. Nope. Did that out of order. Get back here. There are things to be done. We must discuss the rain. Isn't it dreadful? Good for the plants, though. And now... Which one of you will take Forge aspect? I do forget. Am I to understand I don't have a reading desk with Forge? That seems unlikely. And yet, it appears to be true. Huh. Well, perhaps over there. Bizarre, but okay. Well, just one more thing I need to unlock, I suppose. Really? No? Not even a little bit of Forge. Okay. I'll have to manually consider that book like a... I don't know. A fool. A savage. Haha! I have my penny. Now, do I need effort to throw that down the well? And thank you for that as well. Yes, thank you. Appreciated. Question. Throw a penny down the well. The smallest of wishes. Dispose of a stray penny. I mean... I don't necessarily want to, but... I'm curious what will happen. I have no heart, and thus I cannot. Alas. Well, that being the case, we'll use Shap to consider other books. Although, let's see here. We have Sky and we have Sky perfect. If you would, please. Now, which one of you has the right amount of sky, I should say? Not necessarily the most, but the right amount. There we are. I really don't have any fur and feather recipes. Huh. Terrible. Alright. So we will get to working on considering one of these forge books. The question is, pyroglyphics or Meniscate Reflections? The other one was pyroglyphics, yes? Oh, hold on. Yes, pyroglyphics. One script that all the world must read, even the blind, and it is written in flames. Matters of fireworks and their kin, light, colors, infernal detonations. You make me curious. Perhaps even very curious. But which of you contain forge? Not very much forge. Well, quite a bit of forge, actually. Tantalizingly close. So let's see what it lets me use. And we shall go from there. Pardon? Senior? I'm not sure what the SR prefix is for, but Corso Reverte. Manuscript hunter, legacy scavenger, mercenary. Many would question his ethics, few would deny his acuteness. Well, he is a little bit cute, I suppose. No, let's wait. I also don't trust the fact that they... Ah. Well, that's useful. And opens up new options for me. Mind you, I would like to talk with them on this whole matter, but... at the same time... We are paused, yes? Good. At the same time, we've already had 2 people act upon it. And I do want this language. I need, to a degree, this language. Let me just talk with you real quick on some matters. Let's see. Schloss Jennings, certainly not. I should have some dandelion wine somewhere around here. Does egg have grail in it? No, not a single bit of grail. Grail. Pardon? Oh! Well, yes, but you also have quite a bit of nectar to you, and I mean, I might end up using you, but I would rather use something else, given the options. Let's see. There should be just some food I have. Sand. No. Can't feed them sand. We are not that savage and desperate yet. Let's see here. Technically a waste of grail, although... if we gave her 8 grail, what would that allow us to do? I can just mouse over... oh, that would have been useful. Quite a while ago. I could push for the wine cellar. Instead of being satisfied with simply the rose-haunted hall. Choices. Choices upon choices. I suppose... that I have quite a few books to go through. Let's try pushing for the wine cellar. Let's see, but how? How would one do such a thing? Most importantly, how would I succeed at doing such a thing? It's not good enough to simply get you to 8. We need to get you to 10. What else will you accept as tool, sustenance? Memories have already been used. Fabric, though. Well, regardless, we're going to be giving you some of this cocoa, and if nothing else, good to have some free to serve. Fabric, though. fabric, but you won't accept this. Despite it being fabric and fiber. Curious, that. Well, that'll get me to not... What the devil was that? It just... Okay, I'm back in. Sorry, I just got kicked out, briefly, from the game. An oddity. Though perhaps not too important. Oh, well, you have enough grail, yes, but I've already... Well, I haven't spent that much in the way of resources, and it is true. Ruby Wise Ruin. This is what it's for. Let me just see if there's other, more promising moves to be made. Well, perhaps. 1, 2. 2. But that would not be enough, although we might use it in the future, so maybe keep a bottle on me. What else do I have that has grail in it? A tool would be ideal. You have grail? 1 grail. Westcott's compounds. Oh, sorry, I thought you were something else entirely. I thought you were Thurza's, but this is Westcott's, which implies that different librarians have different compounds they've been experimenting with. Curious. Concerning. But also just curious. I think we must. I may have other options I'm simply not seeing. Tell me, what else can you use? Just a beverage, element of the soul, memory, sustenance, or a tool. And alas, we have none that offer grail, although I could have sworn I saw... Ah, no, you have heart in you. Alas. So, hey, I have this substance. I hesitate to call it just a drink. A ruddy liquor wrung from flowers, which I should see if I can serve, actually. Hold, please. Yes, there's the pot, but also... Let me just put that right back there. No. I don't need you filling up my... There we are. Question. I cannot serve this. Good to know. Good to be certain. So, hi, yes. Here, have this substance. That was definitely here. And definitely bottled here. Yes. I'm sure it's good. Cough. Alright, now on to matters of metal and shaft. Yes, because neither of them have what I need for other choices. Let's see here. Let me grab 2 books from somewhere far away, just for the sake of it. Or no, you know, we need to fill up... Yeah. I said fill up. No, we need to find room here, so let's get some of these solar period books going. Though, frankly, that might not be the best idea. Still, it's what we're doing. For good or for ill. You have Forge and Knock to you. Do you have either? You have Knock. Perfect. Congratulations. You're in use. Alright, now that I'm reading multiple books and, well, being more efficient with my time. And soon we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a wine cellar and also perhaps access to the basement. Perhaps. More mysteries to be revealed. Ah, and a moth orchid, which has more knock than moth, I must say, but the true moth, the flower that opens as it changes. Let's see... No. There you are. My piles of flowers. Including some that are simply not... Well... Not currently in use, but I'm going to find a use for them soon. There we are. And what else do we have? Ah, honey! Not precisely what I wanted, but good. Was hoping for beeswax, but I accept this. I do wish they weren't quite so cross with me, but that is part of life sometimes. Sometimes the bees are upset. Oh, yes. Of course, take back everything. And now... Very good. Now that you are suitably exalted, if you could help me out with this infested wine cellar. Something much bigger layered here. The walls and ceilings are smeared with its slimes. It's gone, but its children remain, wriggling in every shadow. We'll have to clear, lure, or drive them out. Best of luck down there. I like to think I'm helping, but... Oh, another mackerel. Which also counts as remains. Curious. Both sustenance and remains, you say? Yes, give me all the rest of it, thank you. Alright. I feel good about this. I feel like we're using our soul more properly now. As for this, The Wind's Ruin, a very easy book. Wonderful. We love that. And regarding a skill that we already have, even better. Let's see you over here for now. Ah. Unfortunate. We have Sthenic Taint on this one. The second volume of Abbot Geoffrey's hypothetical theological debates in Socratic mode. Well, we'll solve it. Subject, the great signs and the great scars. Interesting, intriguing in its way. But unfortunately I need something good against curses, and I do not have such a skill. So back here you go, and yes, we are once again Shapt Accusis. Although, interestingly, I can still use you in order to... Really? Really and truly, can I use my Shapt Accusis to study still? There can be serious consequences if they go untreated. Yes. True. But also I could consider more books with it, potentially. Yes? I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to try it. And ultimately, I'm only risking Shapt. It's my least... Yes. Not my least favorite skill, but it's also the one I have no way to upgrade that I know of right now. Ah. Well, the furniture I can do, and that's about it. So, let's go hunting for some furniture. Furniture that contains forge. That shouldn't be too bad. Come on, speed up a little bit. Yes, I know there's still a chance. No, there is no weather. Gonna take an extra 20 seconds to do this, really? Oh, bother. When I bend too close to this, I hear a faint whispering, an infestation of witchworms, which I cannot currently cure. And it has the gall to be about resurgences and emergences. Ugh. Oh well, another thing for me to fix. Your Shapt has suffered from the whispering of the worms. Ha ha, you fool! It has done no such thing, because it is already damaged. Yes, well. Although, in its damaged state, I wonder, because if it can't be destroyed... let's fix this first. Priorities. But if it can't be destroyed, then it seems to me I should be just fine. Do you count as furniture? No, alas. Forge furniture. Ah, perfect. The bell tower chair. Sturdy, undistinguished, and, like so much else in the house, the last of its kind. And that grants me more knowledge. And another room has opened. I believe that's what that sound actually means, now that I know what I'm doing. Oh my! Quite a bit of dandelion wine, a little bit of lambrig. Okay. Slosh Jennings in abundance. Can I use you for anything? You're purely storage and lost packages, which are in need of consideration. I was hoping for something else, but well, that's the way of it sometimes. Ooh. Other things for me to harvest, perhaps. The roof has fallen and we'll need to dig it out. That'll be a nightmare to do, but okay. A rustling stair, even, where serpent scales whisper on stone, serpent eyes glitter in the pale window light. And then, of course, the shrouded space that we were already aware of. Oh. I desperately need more nectar in my life. But alas. And this having been achieved, now here we have something. The Journal of Thomas de Wolfe. Thomas de Wolfe, 2nd Baron Benkrug. Let me just make sure I have that here. Oh. I do not. I don't even have Thomas de Wolfe. But he was the 2nd Baron Benkrug, nicknamed Baron Silence of Castle Silence for his taciturn severity, most likely the origin eventually of the name Hush House. Alright, well, this is a bit of a pickle. I'm sure we'll find his statue somewhere. There are very few personal details here. Thomas, a talented astronomer and oranoscopist, dispassionately details his observations in the building of the observatory atop the Watchman's Tower. Which one would have hoped that I'd just missed his statue somewhere, and yet I seem to have not done so. Still, matters for the future. As he records the passing of the Great Comet in 1577, the tone finally becomes more animated but also more obscure. Thomas cites his dawn period namesake, Abbot Thomas, as an authority on wind, moon, and shell in the heavens inferior. He observes, "My predecessor knew this truth. 3 blossoms hath the watchman's tree, paper, ink, and flame. The Great Comet, I now aver, is that flame." An oddity. A memory of salt. Well, that's new. Not particularly useful, although, I say that. Some skills require quite a few memories, and this does cover quite a few traits. Aspects. Pardon. So, salt has both 1 knock, 1 moon, and 1 winter. And we derived this from the Journal of Thomas de Wolfe. Yes? Yes. The Journal of Thomas de Wolfe. Alright. Again, not a very immediately useful, I should say. Oh, sorry. Let me just drag you all the way back over here. Back over here. Because you may be useful in some way that I'm not aware of right now. I also should probably put Kitling over here. Simply because these are ones I'm likely to be using repeatedly. Did I not record what the Candler's Wish does? I didn't. Well, something for the future. Yeah, I need to wait till my soul is more restored anyway. Oh, I didn't want to do that. No. I wanted you back up here, where you belong. Now, a shape in smoke, Ambrose Westcott's exposition on tobacco blending and the oracles of the pipe. The text is spotted with spark holes throughout. Westcott observes gnomically that a pipe might be said to manifest the red flower of the watchman's tree, for when lies are burnt, wisdom arises, and vice versa. Pardon? When lies are burnt, wisdom arises, and when wisdom is burnt, lies arise. Fair. Lessons in Pyroglyphics and a memory of revelation. Hello. And this coming from, pardon, a shape in smoke. A shape in smoke. Revelation. Revelation we were already aware of, so I don't need to record that bit of detail. Alright. We have quite a few little lessons to review. Firstly, oranoscopy, because it was here first. And you, Perugian Diaries, which grants us strings and songs. Perfect. I have quite a few things that need music. There we go. These require effort for me to actually go through, and, we'll put you here for now. Just for the sake of it. And my shaft remains accusis, but it also remains usable. So it kind of just makes sense to keep using this. Am I wrong? Perhaps. But, I mean, if it's there and if it works, why not? Oh, yes, I should be talking with you, sorry. On the affair of the unfettered eye. Oh, well, no. Sorry, dear friend, but if you could tell me about Hyksos. I do have a book here. Yes, The Ascendant, which would grant me edicts martial, and thus I would rather like to learn the language. After all, already have some talents with the edicts martial. Yet more witchworms. Witchworms that I can't solve yet. Not just yet. Soon, though. In memory of gods, the Barrow Child, a nameless Gaulish adept who joined an organization identified as the Ordo Limii, writes regretfully of the destruction of the gods who were stoned the hours who preceded humanity. And we've learned oranoscopy, which has moon and sky. Consider the star. Hath each star its 7 names. Observe that these names are never shared. And acquire pyroglyphics. And this? On Matthias and the Amethyst Imago. Pursuit. Oh, we are finding just so many useful things right now. Using this damaged shaft. I must do more. I need to exploit this damage while I can. Oh, dearie me. Tell me, what can you preserve? Where's my bed? There's my bed. No, you can't preserve Revelation, which is somewhat unfortunate, and you can't preserve Salt either. Oh. Alas. I wonder. No, it's just the damaged shaft that doesn't get... well, not really absorbed, but, there's a word I'm missing. Alas. Something else with chandlery. And we'll learn what pyroglyphics allows in due time. Thank you. Alas, that I don't believe... Let me look. Consider pyroglyphics. Do I necessarily need to use... that'll do. But I don't think I have the proper effort, so... yes. The Black Book of Brittany, which is also infested with witchworms. Oh, bother. I tell you, once I get rid of these witchworms, it's going to be delightful. But until then... Or perhaps I'm infesting them with witchworms because I'm affected by witchworms and using something that's affected by witchworms. Oh, I am a fool. I see. I am the source of the problem. Ah. Well, how unfortunate. Let me just test this idea. Lesson there, the memory there, and shaft is not compatible. Okay. Well... that is unfortunate. Can I consider these? And actually, can I consider these using this damaged shaft? Good to know. Alright. Can I restore my shaft? Over here. Let's see. Do you allow for knock? No, but you... Well, you don't allow for winter either. Oh, bother. Well, yet another day where we need to restore ourselves instead of making progress. Although, that having been said, once I get to the point where I can actually deal with witchworm infestations, we're going to be doing quite well. Quite well indeed. And in theory... Thank you. In theory, Pyroglyphics should give me the forge I need to go through at least level 8 forge books. So, progress, I suppose. In the meantime, though, we are in slightly dire condition. I would still like to be working towards this, I suppose. Insects and nectar, if you would. I would like beeswax, please. Please, beeswax. Please. Effort of core and of... Coil and chasm, there we are. And then, I think it's time to start... Well, It's time for me to take 5 minutes for myself. But after that, I think many things. Well, regardless, we are going to need to move out. Using a skill that allows me to move out, which unfortunately is going to be health. Thank you. Shapt. Appreciated. And then I need to move in over this away. And then I think we need to look through some recipes, see what we find. Oh, Gale, you would be useful. Because I could get through the pantry with you. At least I believe I could. Alright, yeah, let's do it. We'll see what's left after we get ourselves through the pantry. And yeah, we'll just see what's left and go from there. Oh, sorry, have we not finished talking? We have not. Getting there, though. Sorry that we couldn't send you out there, but your language is too useful immediately. So, here we are. I didn't pay the full golden spintria, right? Good. Ixos. Appreciated. The Shepherd Kings brought this speech west from Canaan to use in their wards and snares. Had they never come to Egypt, they might never have found a way to write it. Given its addictive qualities, that might have been for the best. Alas. Alas that these times should be mine. Alright, so we're out of there, we're into here. Where, what books will you accept for me? And books, by books I mean, there you are. Soul elements. Alright, and we should be able to solve Shapt soon. But immediately in the future, if you would help, we would appreciate that. And I need to take a few moments for myself, so, one moment, and I'll be back. So, now, let's see. I think no matter what, we're not going to be able to get through here. I mean, through here. Today. So I don't really feel bad about using these on other things. Question becomes what to use them for, though. Let's see here. Think. Because you're going to be at 4 in a moment. Then you will be at 6. And I suppose I have an egg I can feed you for that last bit of heart. Although it would be nice if I were to cook said egg. Do I actually have the ability to cook? Wait a moment. Do I actually have the ability to cook? It just occurred to me. I don't think I know how to cook things. Oh dear. Let me see. Resurgences and emergences. Hill and a hollow. Debatably. Oh no. I don't actually know how to cook. Ah. Well, I can feed her a raw egg, and then she will hopefully help me with my pantry. Huh. Oh dear. I did not consider some things. Alright. Well, I'll put you over here for now. But I could give her, dandelion wine or something better, but, well. Here we are. Yep. Well, that was quick. Now, let me see here. We wish to collaborate with something that gives you heart. And alas, my health is all that gives you heart, which means I also can't harvest quite as much as I wanted to, but that's fine. I'm not too miffed about that. A little bit, but not too miffed. I can consider mackerel? I mean... do I need to use the forge for anything? Not really, not necessarily. Let's dissect that. I just am very curious about that. More honey, which is not what I want, but fair, I guess. Actually, I suppose I should give you that, because that's both easier to come by, and also I don't want it. Although, it does have some useful properties. We do not deny that. And you have some delightful properties yourself. Oh, get over there. Sit upon this shelf, you monstrous thing. How about there? Thank you. Ugh. Alright. Oh, something's been considered. Healthily and slippery. Ew. Healthful and slippery. Memory of taste and a little bit of grail. Good to know. I suppose eating things logically would get you there. On the other hand, I could use this pyroglyphics and upgrade my pyroglyphics. No. Perhaps yes. Perhaps yes, actually. What do I have that will get me forge real quickly? Just a tiny amount of forge. You understand. Forge, 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 forge. A pattern. Advice on containment. Anything else? Nothing recorded. Well, we say that foresight apparently does, although I didn't record what book it gave. Bother. Choices have been made. Let's see. We said advice on containment. So, where is my advice on containment? No, get over there. There you are. Advice on containment. Can I just use Shapt to read this? Perfect. Appreciated. Oh, and sorry, I need you over here, where you need just a little bit more heart to help me with the pantry. Thank you. Here, have some honey, and then you'll fix this pantry, and then we will move on to other things. Although, the collapsed cellar is right there. No. The pantry, I've been talking about it for a while now. I want a pantry. I want places to store my various liqueurs. And I don't really need money right now, so I'm going to leave that off. Because what I want to do is what I started this episode wanting to do, which is looking for recipes. Oh dear. I get so easily distracted by literally everything that needs doing. Alas. But no, once this is done, I will have to use my metal in order to enhance our pyroglyphics, which will ultimately be beneficial to us. Yes, it's true. But still, in the moment, it's somewhat annoying. And also, I can't use Trist here, so how am I going to experiment with moth? It's going to have to be over here, in the dispensary. Oh. Thank you for the pattern. Did I write this incorrectly? No, I wrote it correctly. So, we consider using the memory of the pattern, a lesson, and I believe the only option I have is metal or Faust, but I know I want to use Faust. Faust I want to use for actually creating Refulgen. But also, let's just look at other things that may be compatible with Lantern. We've already checked the oral contemplations, but let's see. Because I have choices here. Applebright Euphonies. It does say there's something with sky here. So, hold that thought. Do I have nothing with sky in it? That seems unlikely. Not a single liquid has sky. Can I use a tool here? No. Pity. But I can use a tool here, and I know there's something that has sky. So, one moment. While we switch angles. Applebright Euphonies. And this grants us a confounding parable, which I don't know what that is. And if I use an instrument, I can set this contradiction to music. Good to know. So, let's see, that would be sky. 5 sky to create a confounding parable. Which I don't know what that is, so we're going to have to do that. Although I do want Refulgen. I don't have anything about a confounding parable here. I do. It's, in fact, 2 moon, 2 rose, 2 sky. Okay, that has possibilities. But also, scholar level, remind me, scholar is 10, yes? Yes, good. So with 10 sky, plus an instrument, we create something. What? Who knows? But, something. And for that I would need an instrument. Which I do have some instruments here. Quite a few instruments. So the question then becomes, with Applebright Euphonies, I would need a bit of sky, 2 memories, and perhaps a sound. Can I use the same memory? Because I can get 4 out of the confounding parable. And then I would just need an application, which could be an element of the soul. I don't believe any of you have sky in you, though. Well, you're also all fatigued, so I won't know. But there's potential there. Potential. Alright. I accept that this is... Well, no, it's not all that I can do. I need to get Grail, though. You know what? This is going to be much easier once I have all my soul elements functional. But, in the meantime, Lantern edge under auroral contemplations, yes. Let's see here. What have I not experimented with? The edicts, actually. The edicts in general. I have not done anything with, it seems. So, let us do that. Trist, I believe, has some moon to it. And moth. Edicts inviolable. They like heart. But it might be easier here, because this just... I have all of this lantern possibility, you see. And so anything here that requires lantern, it's relatively trivial to find what might. Although it's not quite enough. It is not quite enough. I need something else that has lantern to it, which I can get very easily using Agave Eterna. And now anything that is compatible here that uses 10 lantern, I will learn of. Perfect. So, let's see, what can we test? The edicts? No, incompatible. Well, let me rephrase that. The edicts inviolable are incompatible. Edicts liminal? No. No. None of the edicts, as it turns out. Fur in feathers? Incompatible. Glass blowing? Surprisingly incompatible. Hill in a hollow? Incompatible. Well, let me just do it this way. The inks of containment? Nothing. Really? Fair enough. Turn the page. Inks of containment. Lantern 10 attempted. There may be something under the 15, but we don't have it, so alas. Inks of Revelation, I find that doubtful, but... Ah, yes, you require... Let's see... We recorded this already, I do believe. But yes, Inks of Revelation... If I add glass, I can resolve into a more potent lantern liquid. Sorry, I recorded this incorrectly. 10 lantern plus glass equals xanth, perhaps? And you 5 lantern. Which I also want to create. In fact, I might create that regardless of what else happens here. But no, what else is compatible here? Purifications we're already aware of. Pardon? Oh no, I thought I saw Deep Mandaic. Well, I do see Deep Mandaic. But it's incompatible for what I'm doing. Purifications we're already aware of. Gives us a lot of choice, though. Putrefactions, no. Up to 10 lantern. Checked. And let's see, resurgences. Quite surprising, actually, that we don't have anything with resurgences. Although, I suppose lantern is not necessarily about emergences and resurgences or renewal. 10 lantern. Checked. And let's see, what else is compatible? Sights and sensations, snow stories. Really? Okay. Now that surprises me because, I mean, lantern, unless I'm much mistaken, life is a pure flame and we live by an invisible sun within us, Thomas Brown. Lantern is the principle of the secret place sometimes called the House of the Sun and of the light above it. And to me that seems like a sight or a sensation. But, alas. 10 lantern. Checked. So, no. Snow stories is compatible, though. And, of course, there is nothing there. I mean, that's not surprising in the slightest. In fact, I think I know what So Stories requires. But we'll look into that in the future. And transformations and liberations, which does mean I have another source of lantern. And actually, I could use this Agave Eterna for it. This sample will stay here. As will the Xanthotic. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, actually, hold that thought. We're going to take this one that I have set for consumption. And, what was that last one? Oh yes, the Watcher's Paradox, which creates a Tandlebrag, and what else does it need? Align the shadows through glass and create a lantern liquid. Although we're dangerously close to 15 on this one, so hold that thought. Let's see here. Watchman's Paradoxes. I did not record this. Okay, let me fix that real quick. Watchman. For, let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I can make this to 15. I wonder if it'll tell me what it needs, though. But 10 lantern plus glass equals lantern liquid, which is most likely Xanthotic essence. But now, this is interesting. Finish your considerations, quickly, if you would. I have experiments to create. 15 lantern. Should be very doable. Where's my list? Let's see, I know I have something. Revelation, the Watchful Tantra, or the Shape in Smoke. And since I have my shaft all messed up, well, now's the time to do it, I suppose. And we have Pyroglyphics, which gives me 3 Forge. Delightful. Let's see here. Where is... Well, the Watchful Tantra. I know where that is. There you are. We're going to observe you. We are not going to use our deformed shaft, though. Simply because I don't want to take the risk. Simple as that. Oh, yes, and I've made several mistakes. But, most importantly, our pantry is now a thing that exists and is working and is functional and has Gideon's soaks, a therapeutic collection of beneficial bottles, elderflower cordial, rosehip jam, blackberry jam, canned ham, phosphorescent scrapings, dandelion wine, a rose pearl, surprisingly common in these waters. Interesting. Pickled pilchards, which have quite a bit to them, an acquired and unforgettable taste, you say. A pumpkin. Oh. Mash it, eat it, hide forbidden documents in it. Excuse me. Pardon. Beeswax, which I've been looking for. I wish to make candles, but I don't know how exactly. Still, something we'll learn. And then we have all these packages I need to consider. And see what's inside. Ah, dear. So many things to do. So precious little time. You know, you have quite a bit of grail, and you are ductile. Which makes me think, which makes me wonder. Hold, please. Could you... No. Although, can I do the reverse? No. Alas. Although, what's the text on that? One moment, please. Sell a silver spintria. Spintria are not legal tender, but no law prevents the postmistress from purchasing them for me. Perhaps she collects them. Perhaps. Break this silver spintria. Very well. Ah, I see. Well, we'll speak with you in time. That's also not what I wanted to do, but okay. Fair. Reflexes. Terrible, terrible reflexes. Let's see here. Roskragen, we'll take that down to the wine cellar. Oh no, I already have a sample of Roskragen. Well, let's bring you back up then. I have far too much of the Roskragen, if I may say so. And let's take Armagnac down here. The good thing about the pantry is it's, Scrumpy, the West County's most unregenerate achievement. Perhaps at its best when pressed from stolen apples. Curious, curious, curious. We have a lot of things here. Slow gin. Homemade berry gin. I don't have any berries, though. Not that I know of. Pale marrow and golden marrow. This is a marrow redolent of sorrow, and this is accounted a beauty among its kind, if you say so. And we have something else to consider. An essential periost and a basket of vegetables. Now, once I learn how to cook, all of this shall be delightful. I'm sure. Dear. Well. For now we wait, and soon we learn. Yes, 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 yes. Hopefully that went back into its proper location. Good. I do not like this image, I have to say. Something about it makes me uncomfortable. But, regardless. Let's see, with this Memory of Revelation and the Watchman's Paradox. Where are you? There you are. Yes, we could make a tangle brag. This is true. But if instead we were to make something else. Craft Uzult. Brighten the essence into the Incaustrum Terminale Uzult. Curious. 15 lantern plus xanth. Xanthoric essence, you understand. Equals Uzult. I do have an awful lot of that xanthoric essence around. Not so much these agave eterna, but that's a matter for summer. Curious. I wonder what that will do. Although we are close to, time to stop. So, perhaps against my better judgment, perhaps, arguably, debatably, we are going to take ourselves a little bit of a pause here. Thank you for your time. Note the like, comments, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I will see you all very soon.